So hello everybody, my name is Patrick Muhadi, and today I'll be presenting on Philadelphia auction real estate. But first of all, I want to meet Jeff and his wife Megan. Jeff and Megan were living in Philadelphia in a small condo, and they built up a family together. They had 3 kids, and the condo they were living in were no longer a good fit for the family. So they soon had a dilemma of whether they should rent a bigger house or buying a house for the whole family. So first, on the one hand, renting was not really a good option for them since it will be way more expensive on long term. And on the other hand, buying would involve a whole bunch of process such as going to the bank, being approved, and the waiting lists where they had to find a broker and get the property they'd love. So the family came up to Colaberry seeking for advices, and since the project were assigned to me, after a couple of researches, I've advised the family to go first look at the auction, get familiarized with it, get to know exactly how it looks like. So some of you guys may be wondering, what is an auction? An auction is a method of buying and selling properties, which that differs completely from the traditional ways of selling or buying properties. Unlike the topic of way of buying or selling properties where properties are being listed and then with a set price and then negotiated over time, auctions involve the competitive bidding process within a fixed timeline. In an auction, the people or potential buyers gather the bids into place where the prices are being goes up and the highest bidders secures the purchase. Transaction in auction are pretty transparent and way much quicker than the traditional ways. And also they tend to attract a wide range of participants, such as investors or home buyers or speculators, people who looking for getting a profit on the houses. So in an auction, you can find pretty much everything, whether you're looking for a house to buy or if you're looking for land to buy a new home, to build a new home, or if you're looking for something that needs repairs to be fixed and then putting back onto the market. Or you can even find properties that are owned by the bank and the bank was trying to sell those properties. So while doing my projects, I find my data sets on the internet. And I pretty much come up with the data dictionary with my main data set as the property Philly. I built up a calendar table and then made the relationship based on the sale date from the main data set and the table that I have built, the calendar. And also built up the refresh date that will typically refresh based on the data that we keep getting from the website. Since the family were looking for something that is way more cheaper and easy to rent, whether they'd like to rent it or not, so living in it, they're also looking for something that will be much close to the school, sorry, as well as safe neighborhood. So I've been able to come up with some of the KPIs as well, like the sales price, the sales to bid ratio, which refers basically to the relationship between the opening bids and what the property has been sold for. In other words, if the sales to bid ratio is high, that means that the competition within that property is high. People way more attracted by the property, so they're willing to pay more. We have also the rent estimates, the violent crime rate, and the school score. The violent crime rate refers to whether the neighborhood is safe or not. And the school score refers to how many schools or the neighborhood surroundings by the schools or not. Also, I came up with the sum of the KPIs, which are the percentage change that basically we show or hide based on the selection made. With that being said, let's go to my dashboard. So as you can see, I have my line and clustered charts, month, quarter, and year that can be drilled up and down. I also have the line and clustered charts, the property type. I also have a scatter chart, the rent estimates per property type. I also have the bedrooms. I also have a map, the sales price per property. As you can see on the left side, I have my KPIs, sales price, sales to beat ratio, the rent estimates, the violent crime rates, the school score. So when it comes to the insights, in September 2016, the rent estimates decreased by 0.3%, which basically increased by 0.8% in October 2016 and then turns up to 1.1%. Same date, same period for the single family, the rent estimates increased drastically by 16.2%. With this is basically due to the fact that the neighborhood was quite safe. As you can see, the violent crime rate decreased significantly by 26.8, and the neighborhood was also surrounded by the schools, which are being indicated by the school score that increased by 55.2%. In March 2017, we had a huge increase in sales price by 139%, which basically was due to the fact as well that the neighborhood was surrounded by too many schools, and the fact that as well that the violent crime rate was a little bit way more low, and then decreased by 52% by 0.6. When it comes to the negative insights, in October 2016, we had an increase in sales price by 3.0%, which decreased in February 2017 drastically by 58.2%. And this was due as well due to the fact that the violent crime rates increased by 50%. And also that the neighborhood was not really surrounded by the school. As you can see, the school score decreased by 24%. Also in October, in September for the condominium property with 3 bedrooms, there was a huge increase of violent crime rates by 5.6%, which led to a drop of sales price by 29.2%. Similarly, in the same period, for the townhouse, with townhouses with 5 bedrooms, the sales to beat ratio decreased by 40%, which indicate that there was a lack of interest by the potential buyers within the property, which was due to the fact that the violent crime rate was a little bit high, 148%. With that being said, as suggestions, the decrease in sales price, with the decrease in sales price, I'd suggest that to identify the shifts in buyers and buyers' behavior and change in supplies and demand and adjust the price accordingly. Secondly, with the increase of violent crime rate and the decrease of school score, I'd suggest to involve the local community in local businesses and recreational opportunities, as well as the police, and which will basically tend to attract investors to build more school within the area. Third, the decrease of sales to bid ratio. I'd suggest to reassess the sales price with the condition of the current market, and make the properties more appealing to the potential buyers by taking pictures, good pictures of the property, and making some advertising strategies that may attract more the potential buyers. So even though the project was a success, I have encountered some of the challenge, such as the complexity of the data sets. So I've gathered the information from the internet, but since my data set contains so much information, it's like some of the columns that contains the data that was not needed, and also the data that had the wrong names. The headers of the data contains the wrong names. So basically, I had to go to the website of the states to gather accurate information so that I can present that to the family. Also, the choice of the KPIs based on the requirement of the family, as well as the choice of the chart that we may be much easier or better appealing to the family, be much easier to understand what was going on exactly. So at the end, the family was able to find their dream home within the auction. And that was the goal of the project, basically, which is something I'm happy of. So thank you for watching and listening. If you guys have any questions, they're welcome. Thank you.